Okay, I see the early birds tapping in. I see the early birds tapping in. What's going on? Peace, 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 peace. For the early birds only. Salute, salute, salute. What's going on? Miss Copper Moon, wealthy rising. Happy holidays to you, Queen. Samstone, what's going on, big homie? I see who the early birds is. Give it a couple of minutes to let people tune in and tap in. I know it's early. No, we early birds. Black Sam, what's the word? Peace, peace, peace. Wealthy rising, wealthy rising. Chauncey, what's going on? Okay, Shio Wilson says still no bull run. Shit, what you missed? What you mean? What you mean still no bull run? To my calculations, Bitcoin went from the bottom of 16,000 to the top of 126,000. Right? To be honest with you, if this wasn't a bull run, what was it? Like I don't understand people's mindset right now talking about where's the bull run. This is one hell of a bull run right here. One hell of a bull run. Now, people that are, for the majority, this ain't nothing against you. This is just in general because I see a lot of people saying it. In general, people that are asking for a bull run are those that bought somewhere around up here. And they want price to keep going like this. If you'd have bought on this dip, you wouldn't be, where's the bull run? If you'd have bought on this dip or this consolidation or even this consolidation. Now remember, before we broke our all-time highs, remember when we were at our all-time highs back here in March of 2024, and all it did was get boring up until October of 2024? People say, oh, the market's over with, what happened? It's during the boring times when individuals should take advantage. Okay? You bought in 2022? Let me see, 22 is right here. Depending on where you got in. I mean, if you bought in 2022, even if you bought the top of 2022, right? You went from a $16,000 to $126,000 Bitcoin. Like, what are people really asking for, saying, where's the bull market at? What are people really asking for? This is a monthly chart. We're looking at a monthly. Each one of these are monthly candlesticks. Bitcoin has only been 2 months into the pullback. 2 months. This was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 months until it continued. This was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months before it continued. We're only 2 months in. Hey, what do you say? Time doesn't really exist. I love this song. There's no time. Time doesn't even exist. But no. Yeah, so I don't know. Now, if we continue, cool. But we had a damn good run already. We had a damn good run. If we come and take a look at Ethereum, what was that? The bottom was 22, right? Yeah, we went from $1,900 to almost $5,000, right? To almost $5,000. People enjoyed a bull run. People enjoyed a real nice bull run. Then you even had a pullback here in April of 25, back down to $1,300, right? So you went from $1,000, what did I say, 19, $1,000 up to about 4,000, came back down to $1,300, and then ran back up to damn near $5,000. That's a pretty good run, if I do say so myself. Pretty damn good run, if I do say so myself. You know. Now, has the rest of the market been able to do those same runs? Well, if we look at something like Chainlink, from 22, it was somewhere around $6 and ended up running up to $30. Right? That was a 500% return. 500% return. Then when it pulled back and people was probably like, "Oh, the shit's over with," it gave you another 175% return within 122 days. Right? Now the market been moving. The market been moving. You're just in a corrective state right now. Right? See where we're at right here? We're where we were back here. Right? That's all. It's either this the mind state that individuals is in right now. Right? You are either taking advantage of the pullback right now, or you're selling into the pullback. Right? Yeah, you what you probably did was you probably went chasing all the altcoins people was telling everyone to buy, the X402. And look, I'm gonna name the majority of altcoins, the individuals that aren't too deep in the space probably bought, thinking that they was gonna have a super duper bull market. XRP, XLM, HBAR, XDC, Cardano, Doge, Shiba Inu, Peep, Fartcoin. Let me see what else is people out here buying. Just really kind of off the whim. Those are like the top names. Those are like the top names that just any individual that's not even familiar with the space, because they've heard this rhetoric of, hey, the X402 tokens, or no, not X402. X402 is the payment system. The 222 ISO tokens. That's what it was. A lot of people got caught with that. You know, and that just comes from individuals paying attention to the general public and what they're saying, right? You know what y'all want to stay away from? Hippie, what's going on? Wealthy Rising. Y'all, you want to know what y'all want to stay away from? Stay away from those 5 to 10 to 15 to 20-second clips of people telling you, hey, buy these coins because they're going to go up by this date because this was passed. Them shits are sending y'all clean off. Them shits is literally sending y'all clean off, Joe. Yeah, when in doubt, zoom on out. You know? You got it. That's why I always tell people when I introduce people to the space, I actually introduce you to stable coins first. Then I tell you, what's your, hey, Bitcoin and Ethereum should be number one on your list. Forget everything else for right now. Bitcoin and Ethereum should be your base camp. You kind of get what I mean? Especially if you're going to get into self-banking, because you need some type of strong collateral. You don't want to collateralize these tiny alts and then end up getting liquidated because you're issuing credit against them. You get what I mean? That making sense? Salute. What's going on, Black Ice? How you feeling? Yeah, never listen to them people, Joe. They ain't doing shit but sending y'all clean off. It's this one guy that everybody been sending me. I don't know if he's Hispanic, I believe. Everybody been sending me his videos like he's some type of know-it-all. And man, watch this and break it down for me. Well, I'm not breaking shit down. You want to go listen to dude? Go listen to him. Feed that shit in the chat GPT. I'm not fucking AI. Like what? I think I give enough information on my page, my Instagram, my YouTube, My Facebook, if the shit still goes to Facebook, because I don't really use Facebook no more. I think I give more than enough information to keep you in a very, very, very good position, and have been doing so since 2017. Right? But people, hey, but like I said, everybody wants the quick win. Everybody wants what's easy. I think what I do is kind of hard because I'm really forcing individuals to learn versus just telling you what to buy. Right? I think that's a big difference with me and everybody else. I'm actually trying to teach you about a space. Everyone else is just telling you what to buy. Think about it. Think about it. Them same videos, they not telling you how to utilize this technology. It's, hey, buy this. This is gonna go up. Buy this. By this date, this, like, what? How can you believe that shit? These motherfuckers ain't got no crystal balls, yo. They ain't got no crystal balls. Stop thinking that they do. And stop thinking that somebody's smarter than you. You get what I'm saying? Because they not. I'm not smarter than you. I just study and share that which I study. You get what I mean? So it ain't like, oh, bully knows it all. No, bully studies and shares what he studies. That's it. You know? But anyways, we can see that the market not giving us the Santa rally we want right now, but still holding significant levels, if I do say so myself. Price is still holding significant levels. And that's always a good thing. That's always a good thing. Bitcoin, we can see around 87,500. Ethereum still holding the $2,900 support level. XRP still around that 180, and Sol still around that 120. And so on and so on and so on, right? The market is consolidating right now, y'all. We're in consolidation, meaning sideways movement. Not so much up, not so much down. It's sideways, right? Until you choose what direction you want to break in. Now, the only good thing about this that I would say, especially if we break it down to a weekly, right? And get rid of all the noise, is that we are playing out negative momentum on the weekly, right? So what you're looking at right here is the MACD, moving average convergence divergence, right? This measures positive momentum in the market and negative momentum in the market. When you have positive momentum in the market, the bulls are in power. When the bars start getting lighter, the bulls start getting exhausted. They get another breath of fresh air or a second wind, and then full exhaustion sets in until they're done, and then the bears take over. So now the same thing happens, right? The exact same thing happens, right? Over deliver with value. Yeah, over deliver, Sam. The bears get into power, right? Super hard, and now look what's happening. They're starting to get a bit exhausted. So what we're looking for is them to run out of steam on the weekly. That's what we're looking for. Because this is all selling pressure right here. This is all selling pressure. And this doesn't last forever. Look, you get selling pressure, then you ease off. You get selling pressure, and then you ease off. It's almost like a pyramid, right? Or a hill, a mountain. You get selling pressure, and then you ease off. Weak selling pressure. Here we go. Selling pressure, and then you ease off. All right? So that's what you're looking at here. That's what you're looking at right now. Selling pressure, and then you ease off. Wow. Hold on. Let me refresh this. While Bitcoin still so typically, right? This is the research that I did, right? Within this greater bull market that we've been in with Bitcoin, right? At least from $20,000, the extensive pullbacks or consolidations that we've had have been around a total on the pullback side somewhere around 30%, right? From the high of the week of March 11th to the low of the week of April 1st, you had a 33% retracement, right? Yeah, this is trading view, broski. This trading view. Now, from the high of January, the week of January 20th, to the low of the week of April 7th, 2025. This is 24. This is 25. Okay? You had a 31% correction before continuation. Now, what's interesting about this, where did I put this at? Let me see. Because pay attention to where we're at right now. Another 32% correction, right? And let me show you something. Because I'm not a Johnny come lately and after it happened, hey, look what happened. Nah, I'll be trying to keep my people in the best position possible. So actually, let me go see if I can find this real quick. Hold on. Let me see if I can actually find this. Let me see. I know I put it in here. I had to. Let me see. Yep, here it is right here. Here it is right here. Now, when was this? Hold on. This was November 10th. So pay attention now. Pay attention. This is what you call due diligence and putting your people in position, right? This is what you call it. This is November 10th. Price was trading at $106,000, right? This is the same exact picture we're looking at. The only difference is price hit the target down here. I was already telling my community, hey, look at the past. We've had around 30% corrections. And I said, in my opinion, remember, price at 106,000. I said, in my opinion, we're going to have about a 32% correction. And we're going to come down and find some type of support around 85,800. That's what I was looking for in the past. Now we look at what happened with price now in the present. Oh, wow. Came down, hit the 30, and now it's been bouncing around the same support levels that I was looking at. Very interesting. Very, 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 very interesting how that works out. Wouldn't you have loved for somebody to tell you that price had a possibility of going down to 85,000 when you were still at 106? Hmm? Ain't that like answers to the test? Ain't that like answers to the test? That's like you going to the back of the math book, even though they only got all the odd answers. Or what's the even answers? Anybody that's old enough to remember. I don't even know if they still do that though. Anybody old enough to remember when they used to have all the answers, especially what geometry, algebra? They used to have all the answers in the back of the book. Anybody old enough to remember that, or do they still do that? I'd be interested to know. Do they still do that? But nonetheless, November 10th. This is where we was at. This is what I was looking for. This is what I was looking for. All right. If you can get a close up, we were at 106,000. I was looking for a pullback back down to around 85,000. Wow. And nothing's been moved. Everything's exactly as it was. You get what I mean? This is technical analysis in motion. This is TA. This ain't crystal ball shit. This is using the data that I've been given and coming up with an educated guess on what I believe is going to happen in the market. You understand? Giving an educated guess of what I believe is going to happen in the market. I could have been wrong. I could have been wrong. It's the odd one. Okay, I remember it being the odd ones. Everybody that turned their homework in, just magically, everyone's got every odd answer right. You know. But anyways, this is where we at today, right now, on what they call Christmas. Now, let's go take a look. This is the article that I like to present to everybody, where we can take a look at what Bitcoin was worth on every Christmas since its inception. 2017 will shock you. All right. Christmas Eve over the years has seen an array of Bitcoin prices. Bitcoin's Christmas Eve price history underscores extreme volatility. 2017 marked Bitcoin's first true mainstream breakout, and I was here for that. I was present. In fact, I streamed live for that. You can go back and actually probably find some of my videos on Facebook where I was streaming live for the 2017 Santa run. Right? Analysts believe holiday trading rarely changes Bitcoin's broader trend, though. What we're going to do is look at a year-by-year look at Bitcoin's price on the day before Christmas, and it highlights how a particular festive year, almost 10 years ago, reshaped investors' perceptions and set the stage for Bitcoin's massive growth. Okay. Now, this is Christmas Eve's Bitcoin prices, and these are the approximate prices recorded on Christmas Eve each year since early adoption took hold. So 2013, Bitcoin's trading at $600, 666 to be exact. Very interesting. Very interesting. Hi, Christmas Eve, we're coming with the 666, you know? 2014, down by half. Man, oh my God. It's over with. Bitcoin's dead. It's lost half its value since the last bull market or last Christmas. It's over with. Get out of it. You guys lost. Ha ha. Jokes on you. Yokes on you. 2015, We back at $455. Oh, okay, hey, Bitcoin may be coming back. We don't know. It's nothing really going on. 2016, $899. There's probably a lot of hype around. Let me see, 2016. Let's look at 2016. 899. 2016. Where you at? 2016. Let's go on a monthly real quick. But if you look at it, you see, it's highly volatile, but over time it's not. It's really just up and to the right. Like, look at this. Yeah, if you bought it right here in this time section, oh wow, big volatility. But if you just, this is why I always show y'all this. This is why I always show y'all this, right? This is why I always show y'all this. Right here. If you just would have did $1, it's just the last 10 years, just $1 a day. Forget price action, forget the volatility. Just have it in your mindset that you want more Bitcoin today than you had tomorrow. You want more Satoshis today than you had tomorrow, right? And this is to anyone that says, hey, that shit's too risky. That's the way you're investing. $1 a day, which you can do easily on Cash App nowadays. $1 a day over the last 10 years, you would have spent $3,654, right? Meaning over the next 10 years, you're still going to spend $3,654, right? But right now you end up with 98,000. Now let's say that over the next 10 years that gets cut in half. That means you spend 3,000, you only get back 50,000. Is that still not a good? And now remember, we're just talking. People might be like, "Oh, 50,000 ain't life changing money." My guy, you're only allocating $1 a day. Let's rub it up to $2 a day, right? Now if we're gonna cut this in half, now you're looking at a $7,300 investment being worth almost 100K. We're cutting this in half. It's 197. We'll call it 200,000 round up. If you only get half of that in the next 10 years, half of that, you're still looking at a $7,000 investment or $7,000 out of your pocket, $2 a day, turning into almost 100 grand, right? God forbid you go balls to the wall and do $3 a day. Now you're looking at, if we're cutting things in half once again, but the last cycle you spent $10,000, almost $11,000, but you brought back almost 300K. So now if we were to cut this in half, remember, this doesn't change. You're still spending $3 a day. So over the next 10 years, from December 2025 to December 2035, it's still going to be $10,962, right? No, I'm not using Uphold to automate it. I'm just using Uphold as the calculator. That's all I'm doing. So now remember, we went from $1 a day. You spend $3,654 over the last 10 years. It would have equated to 98. In fact, you know what? I don't even want you to pay attention to this though. To be honest with you, you had the dollar amount. Yes, yes. What I want you to pay attention to is the amount of Satoshis that you're able to acquire for $1 a day in 10 years, right? Which over the last 10 years was 113,575,000 sats. Okay, that was $1 a day. Now, once again, if we're trying to project the next 10 years, let's say that we don't see the same jump that we did over the last 10 years. Let's say that we cut that in half. So that would mean over the next 10 years, you spend 3,600, you end up with somewhere around 50,000. $1 a day, that's still not that bad, Joe. That still ain't that bad. Now, like I said, if you just rev it up $2 a day, maybe you and your significant other each put $1. Maybe you and your brother each put $1. Maybe you and your sister each put $1. Maybe you and your best friend each put $1. Maybe you and your close cousin each put $1. Maybe you and whatever like-minded individual you can find each put $1 a day towards Bitcoin as a collective. If you would have did it over the last 10 years, y'all 7,300 would have been worth almost 200K, right? Almost 200,000 if you would have did it over the last 10 years, you and a buddy, almost 200K. $1 a day out of each pocket, though. $1 a day out of each one of y'all pockets, right? Now, like I say, you feel the big bank tank, you want to go balls to the wall and do $3 a day. Now, either you and your friend can each do $1.50 a day, or you can find a third party. Right? And over the last 10 years, either you and your friend or that third party would have invested $10,900, but you almost would have had $300,000. So now let's cut that in half. Once again, let's say over the next 10 years you do not get the same return. Let's say we cut it in half. You're still putting $10,962 up, but instead of walking away with $300,000, you only walk away with $150,000. Is that still bad? Is that so bad? I need some input. Let me know. Is this making sense to everybody? Hmm? I hope this is making sense. I hope this is bringing value. All right. So now, from 2016 at $899, you go from under $1,000 to 2017 at $13,926 on Christmas Eve. From $900 to $13,000. Now, what happens after that, though? You go from 13,000 down to 4,000. Oh my God, Bitcoin's over with. It's a bubble Ponzi scheme. I told you. Jamie Dimon telling people, calling people stupid. Hey, if you buy it, I'm gonna fire you. Now look what they're doing. Right? So now that next year around Christmas, what happens? You move from 4,000 to 7,000. Right? You move from 4,000 to 7,000. That's 2019. COVID. Well, no, this wasn't. Yeah, this was after COVID. If we're looking at Christmas Eve 2020, this was after COVID. This is after the March 2020 Black Swan event. The year before we were only at 7,000. Now we at 23,000. All right. Then from 2020 to 2021, where are we? 50,000. That's that next bull run. Then what happens? We go into a bear market. Now look, Bitcoin's back down on 16. Oh my God, it's over with. Leave it alone. Piece of shit. We told you guys 70,000 was a bubble. We'll never get back there. Do I think it's still going up 2030? I don't know how long you've been watching me. You couldn't have been watching me for no amount of time. Asking me a question like that. It ain't nothing against you. I'm just saying you couldn't have been watching me no amount of time and asking me a question like that. I think Bitcoin's going to go up as long as I'm alive. I think the price Bitcoin is right now and the price that it's going to be, inshallah, I'll live a long life, is going to be massively different. And I believe that it's going to continue to grow for my children and my grandchildren. We got to remember the last Bitcoin ain't mined. Let me see. Hold on. Brother Duncan, my brother, what's going on? Long time. So the last Bitcoin is projected to be mined around the year 2140. I do not think I'm going to be here. But Bitcoin's still going to be working. All right. So you got to think 2140, 2130, 2120, 2110. The year 2100 even sounds crazy to me. Right. But then we got to go past 2090, 2080. That shit sounds wow. We're in 2025 right now. You know? So now I'm extremely long Bitcoin. In fact, I'm this you know what the biggest difference between me and other people are? Other people want to make money. I just want to acquire more Bitcoin. I know that sounds crazy, but it's actually not. Because as you are focused on the dollar amounts and steady cashing out into dollars, you're steady going to have to just keep buying in higher and higher and higher as time goes on, to the point where it's going to be like, damn, I didn't even try to get one Bitcoin. I've made a lot of money. I've lived good, but Bitcoin's outpaced and outpriced me. Now it's 1.2 million. Now, if you haven't done the right thing with the money you was making off it on the run from 100,000 to 1.2 million, now how you gonna get a whole one if you ain't got 1.2 million just to give up on the risk? Because now you got to look at the risk levels. Think of it like this, y'all. Think of it like this. Let's say you had the money, right? Let's say you had an extra mil, but it was only like an extra $1 million. Would you put that whole $1 million on Bitcoin at that time if that's what you built up? Probably not, unless you change your conviction. You get what I mean? unless you change your conviction. All right. Let's go back and take a look. From 2020 at 23,000, in 2021 we went to 50,000. 2022 back to 16,000. It's over with. Get out. Get out. Get out while you can. Get out while you can. And as you get out, we're going to march on up to 43,000 in 2023 and 94,000 in 2024. And ultimately, from 94,000 in 2024 and 2025, we're going to be sitting somewhere around 87,000. So get out while you can at 16,822. That way you can come back and buy it at 40, 90, and 80,000. You see what happens when you listen to them? See what happens? %, 100%. I agree with you, Divine God. Hey, it do sound crazy. BTC rewards from stacks for 100 years sounds super crazy. Come on, man. That's somebody with the mindset right there. That's somebody with the mindset. I like it. Now, before Christmas, price surge in 2017 marked the asset's first mainstream breakout. Beginning the year trading below $1,000 and surging past 16,000 by the end of December. Bitcoin extended what was then a record-breaking rally. According to on-chain data, Bitcoin reached an intraday high of $16,663.18 in mid-December, gaining more than 50% in a single week. The gain grew significant pushback from critics at the time who warned the Bitcoin surge showed the hallmarks of a speculative bubble. Back then, many people drew comparisons to the dot-com boom and warned that prices could turn quickly. This prediction, unfortunately, turned out to be partially true, as prices plummeted by 80% in the following year. With over 10 Christmas Eves shaping Bitcoin's price, market participants believe that Bitcoin's long-term trajectory remains intact, despite near-term fluctuations. Meaning, hey, look, whatever it's doing now, back and forth, yada, 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 we don't care. We looking long-term. Every 5 to 10 years, 50 to 100 years is how you want to look at this game. If you're in the game, let me say this. I'm not talking about trading. I'm not talking about getting a couple of dollars to go buy some shit. If you in the game of generational wealth, you got to have that 5 to 10, 50 to 100 year outlook. Hands down. Hands down. Got to have that 5 to 10, 50 to 100 year outlook. All right? That's how you got to look at it. Got to look at it like that. Now, Coinbase Global Chief Executive Brian Armstrong recently predicted that Bitcoin could reach a 7-figure price prediction within the next 5 years, echoing views of similar bullish industry leads. For Bitcoin to trade at 1 million by 2030, it will need to deliver a compound annual growth of roughly 50%. Although Bitcoin suffered significant losses in 2018, it also posted substantial gains in many other years. Now, whether that track record can be repeated remains uncertain, but the long-term view of the industry remains bullish. Let me make sure I'm streaming live over here on Retake. I should be live on Retake, ain't I? Why are we not live on Retake? Hold on. Oh, we right. We live. Okay, cool. I want to make sure I was live on Retake. Let me go ahead and give them a happy Retake miss. There we go. Give them a happy Retake miss on Retake. There we go. And I don't know why they keep giving me this same title every single time I go live over here. It's crazy. Anyways. Where did I leave off at? Okay. Whether the track record can be repeated remains uncertain, but the long-term view of the industry remains bullish, as it does for me. In 2025, technical analysts suggest that Bitcoin's recent weakness may persist beyond the holiday period. Valadrin Tahiri, an analyst at CNN, said seasonal trading patterns offer little support for a near-term reversal. Bitcoin's Christmas performance has been consistent for years, he wrote. noting that holiday trading has rarely affected the broader market trend. Whether the market was bullish or bearish, holiday price action rarely caused a lasting reversal. Instead, Bitcoin almost always resumed the trend that was already in place. With Bitcoin currently trading in what he describes as the final phase of a larger downward structure, unless a major catalyst appears, the path towards 69,700 to 71,400 support zone remains the most likely outcome, regardless of short-term holiday price movements, he said. If past cycles are any guide, Bitcoin's real move may come after Christmas, not during it. So now let's say that it does. Are you in position to take advantage? Do you have any new upcoming classes? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I actually got a class tomorrow. What's that? Yeah, today's Thursday. We got a class tomorrow. If you're in Chicago, go ahead and pull up. If you're in Chicago, go ahead and pull up. We got the end of the year wealth strategy class. Okay. So if you're in Chicago tomorrow, pull up. I will be sending out the address today. Okay. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Hold on. There we go. All right. So tomorrow, 5 p.m. 5 p.m. I do have virtual seats as well for anybody that wants to tap in on the virtual side. If you want to tap in on the virtual side, right? You want to go to blockwallstreet.biz. That's BLOCKWALLSTREET.biz. For anybody that wants to come through and kick it tomorrow. Not, but more than kick it. We're going to burn, we're going to learn, and I'm going to show you how to earn. All right. Let me see what else we got going on. You know what? I ain't gonna hold y'all for too long. Do you have the link for the ticket? Do you have the link for the ticket for the virtual? No, when you purchase a ticket, you should get it. If you didn't get it, reach out to me and I can send it to you. But if you purchased a virtual ticket, you should get the link for the virtual seat. If you didn't, just email me a copy of your receipt and I'll get it sent out to you ASAP. Don't even worry, I got you. You know, wealthy rising to everybody that's tuning in and tapping in right now. What you're looking at and what we were talking about here is the long-term outlook on Bitcoin. And what I'm showing you is over the last 10 years, if you would have allocated just $1 a day, you would have put 10,900 to the side, but it would have ended up being worth $296,895. Look at this. Even with all the pullback, look at that. Look at these large drawdowns. Even with all those, Bitcoin still outpaced you saving $1. You kind of get what I mean? So remember this, y'all. Oh, this is how you always want to look at it. And I'm gonna leave y'all with this. This is how you always want to look at it. If you knew people were gonna be using dollars, right? Before people knew what dollars were. This is what I'm saying. If you knew people were going to be using dollars and you had access, you could get those dollars, right? You can get $1 before people knew what $1 was, right? If you knew that you could do that, how many dollars would you buy? I'm gonna ask you right now. If you had access to dollars before people knew what dollars were, before they were using the dollars, right? If you had access to dollars before people knew what dollars were, how many dollars would you buy? You got to ask yourself that and look at it that way. Where to purchase? My fault. Blockwallstreet.biz. That's BLOCKWALLSTREET.biz. Blockwallstreet.biz. Okay, and then go to upcoming courses and events. I look forward to those that are going to pop out tomorrow. I look forward to those that are going to sit in virtually tomorrow. I appreciate any and all support that I get. Those that support me on buymeacoffee.com. You can find me at buymeacoffee.com/Block Wall Street. You can find me there. You know, if you choose to support. Other than that, tomorrow night, you know, we're gonna have a nice one. We're gonna have a nice one tomorrow night. All right. Any questions or comments before I get out of here? Any questions and or comments before I get on out of here from anybody? I'm taking questions and comments, man. Let me know what you're trying to figure out. I'm taking questions and comments. Give it a couple minutes, see if we get anything comes in. If not, everybody enjoy your holiday, enjoy the festivities, enjoy your family. We made it through another year. You know, we may have lost some along the road, but we here. Mr. Virtual Assistant Mimi, what's going on? Wealthy Rising. Happy holidays to you. Happy holidays to you. Hey, hey, look. Hey, I've been putting the Avengers together. Wise guy, I've been putting the Avengers together. I got to introduce you to the team. In fact, hey, I'm putting the team together, yo. You know what I need right now? I need some real estate agents, preferably out of Chicago. I need some artists, some producers, preferably out of Chicago. I need some people in the agriculture game, preferably out of Chicago. But anywhere really though. But I want to make the base in Chicago right now. I kind of want to make the base. But I definitely putting the team together, bro. And I got to introduce you to everybody because we are a team with similar goals, right? We are a team with similar goals. So we definitely got to have a sit down. In fact, if y'all, I know my other brother, he's in Costa Rica. He's not gonna be able to make it, but I should be able to have you. If you're not doing nothing tomorrow, definitely would love to have you pull up. You know, for those that don't know, yeah. I got you. In fact, no, you're in Costa Rica. Right. You're in Costa Rica. No, you're already part of the team. You know who I thought you was? Yeah. Zoom. You know who I thought you was though? Wise guy. We was all just on the line. Me, you, and E. We was just all on the line talking. Okay. Who am I looking for? Tobias. That's what I'm looking for. He's the founder of the Bitcoin Art Hill Garden Bitcoin Reserve. I got to get all of us on the phone. Together. You know, I'm putting the crypto Avengers together. Y'all gonna see in the next 10 to 20 years what I build. Copper Moon, I appreciate you. Virtual Assistant Mimi, appreciate you. Charlie the Great. What's going on, big homie? How you feeling? Xavier, though, no doubt. Reach out to me. Let me know where your expertise is. DM me and let me know what your expertise is. Hey, but look, with that being said, we are going to wrap up this live. I appreciate everybody that tuned in and tapped in. If you missed it, go back and take another look. Please, a lot of good information, a lot of motivational information. Until the next one, peace, power, and prosperity, family. I am out of here.